UNICEF estimates that globally, nearly 240 million children have some form of disability, and a significant portion of these children face barriers to accessing education. In Uganda's district of Kasese, a silent crisis is unfolding. Disabled students face overwhelming challenges as they try to cross from primary to high school, proceed to higher institutions, and eventually gain employment. Today, we investigate why these young people are falling through the cracks and why their numbers continue to reduce. If you go to primary schools, you will see them, there are many in the classes. But when they reach in the secondary, the number continues reducing. So I want to find out what could be the reason why the number is reducing.
Okay.
The numbers tell a troubling story.
Everyone. Some of our parents, they not manage to get money because they
Many disabled students start their education full of dreams, but as they transition to high school, most disappear from the system. Few make it to higher education, and even fewer secure jobs. The question remains, why?
Secondly, we cannot move like adults.
Education should be a right for all. Yet for many disabled students, it is an uphill battle. Schools are not designed with them in mind.
I would say that I would tell him that we have problems. He should provide us like sponsorships and we increase in number.
Physical barriers, steep steps, inaccessible toilets, and long distances turn everyday learning into an exhausting challenge. But the struggle is not just physical. Many face discrimination, bullying, and isolation. When students are made to feel like outsiders, the weight of exclusion becomes heavier than any other staircase they must claim.
Some of us who have visual impairments, if there is no braille papers, we cannot write in classes, we cannot do anything.
With every dismissive glass and whispered insult, confidence fades. Many students begin to believe they do not belong.
We cannot manage to support in different ways, like playing, setting water, waiting.
So that one really forces parents to abandon to leave you at home.
Yeah.
better unically rice ya okatunge stress nen ko ibula ya chara ko abur betu no muru che yu no munga ngom compound mu kutu no tuka surrounding kam absolutely a challenge.
Other challenges are stigma. They themselves, even if they are not stigmatized by others, but they themselves sometimes feel inferior. For instance, to have a child who has no arms. So going to the toilet, when he came, he was in primary 2, he would feel easy to be taken to the toilet and clean him. But now I'm told these days, he sometimes refuses to be cleaned.
Without emotional and academic support, the ambitions shrink and dropping out becomes not a choice but an inevitability.
Some people, when we started school, they can't study, they can't read, they can't write. Niruwa kambu setu angasoma, neruka sanganuka hikango kwa skuru, wasangana vandu vavekusaga, wasangana avandu vani vadiskeri kusekeria, they feared us.
Kale ngala vamavitsevu, kale nganganaenda kadistis kake, nerungalu kadinga sikala, betu na handre, kangana visinganga yandanda kibetu ngachame, cheste tungende singendri yende ngikala, maninanye.
The parents of these children have neglected them in a way that they don't value the education for their children, knowing that they are disabled. One example I have to give is I have 2 children who started here in primary 1. They are now in primary 7, but we have never seen any of their relatives here.
Another challenge is you may find that some children have no caretakers as we are with them here at school. Sometimes we fail to handle them because they have no caretakers. They need specific people to always care for them full time.
Like we already have one who has left school because the parent told me, I cannot continue sponsoring this child when I have other children. So they feel like if you give them education, you are wasting time. You are wasting your resources. So that is another way that makes other children fail to achieve.
As a mother of such a child, we also have challenges. And also our children with disabilities also face so many challenges at home, at school, even in the community where they are staying. Personally, when you give birth to a child with disability, we find so many blames from our husbands. You find a husband is blaming you for producing such a child, and he tells you for them they have never produced children with disability, so you carry all the blame. And of course, if a man blames you that for him he can never produce a child with a disability, then of course you have to carry all the burden of paying school fees for such a child because the father ignores him right from birth. As a mother, you have to cater for that child's needs. You have to cater for the school fees. And of course, us as women, we find so many challenges. And at the end of it all, you find such children of ours have not completed school.
For those who fight against the odds and complete high school, another challenge awaits: higher education. Universities remain largely unprepared to accommodate students with disabilities. Lecture halls lack accessibility. Teaching methods are rigid, and resources are scarce.
I am a person with low vision. I see things which are near, and that has not stopped me from succeeding. I am a teacher now of history and economics. I teach at a secondary level, and amidst all, I have passed through schools with the units for people with special needs. However, I have seen that the journey for us to reach where I have reached is all that rough due to economic and socio-political factors. One, on the economic aspect, that the parents tend to afford a low school fees.
Without support systems, many students feel lost. Some drop out, while others never even attempt transition. The promise of a better future through education is slipping away, leaving behind shattered dreams.
Graduating to secondary level, the economic status tends to stop the parents from supporting. Likewise, on the gadgets and the devices to be used in these classes, parents are not able to afford the purchase of these commodities or assistive devices, and thus reduces the number of pupils or learners graduating to upper primary and secondary level, likewise at the university level. And that is really a challenge. It would not be me if it was not for well-wishers. I'm really an advocate of people with special needs, both the visually impaired, the deaf.
Take an example in the whole Kasese district where we have over 78 secondary schools. We have only one secondary, a fully funded government secondary school, which provides that education of students with disability. That is sad. Now imagine a student who is at maybe Bwisumbo ba Chichwamba, moving from that side, or how will he get to know that there is a certain school? So my request would be, at least in each and every sub-county, there should be at least like a government-aided school which can cater.
Sometimes because they feel they are not like other children, it becomes a problem for them also to catch up in the education. Parents who don't value education, they will not provide.
And then, the final stage, the workforce. Even those who overcome educational barriers face another harsh reality. Employers hesitate to hire disabled graduates, fearing additional costs or doubting their abilities. With doors closing at every stage, hope fades. The cycle of exclusion is complete. From childhood to adulthood, a system that should uplift has instead abandoned them.
The reason to why these people don't go to secondary schools, even don't cross to middle primary schools, first of all, the negativity of both the parent and the community where the child comes from. Two, some people think that these children cannot do like other people. We first front, for us in disability, we call them the so-called normal people or normal children, to first go to school. Now, like we have children who cripple, those ones that need wheelchairs. Even when the wheelchair can have a simple, if it was donated, and it has a simple mechanic problem, the parent will not even bother to take the child to school. So in the long run, when a term has elapsed, the child just stays at home. Then the background. And most parents having children with disabilities tend to hide the children in their homes. They can expose them for a while, after they withdraw them from school. And those are some of the challenges among very many others. Then another problem is poverty. Like in Kasese, apart from St. Agnes, we have only one government secondary school that admits learners with special needs, and that is Sadi Memorial.
But this is not just a loss for individuals. When education and employment are denied to an entire group, society pays the price. Lost talent, reduced economic productivity, and a culture that reinforces inclusion These are the consequences of ignoring inclusion.
We don't have also manpower to handle them. Teaching, like in Kasese, we have 3 schools. We have only Mbondo Primary School, Kinyamaseke, and Kihembo. 1 private school that handles them, Rapsid, and there are very many of them. So when they reach somewhere, children tend to withdraw.
It is time to rethink our schools, our policies, and our mindsets. The question is not whether disabled students can succeed. It is whether we are willing to remove the barriers that stand in their way.
And for those who have hearing impairment, we are using sign language in teaching them so that they can grasp what other teachers are teaching. And we have also special classes for both hearing and ordinary children. You know, these children also have to learn sign language, communicate fully with these other children who are having that disability. So we have also those special classes which are helping these children with hearing impairment to get what is being taught in their classes. Then for those who have intellectual impairment, we have games that we give them to develop their muscles and to develop their brains. You know, we can't leave them just like that, idle, moving up and down. We have to engage them in some things that will make them develop also.
As a district, we are trying, except because of meager resources, we are not able to reach every school, we are not able to reach every community to sensitize people and bring their children in schools, either to direct them. And when you direct a parent, you say to take to Kinyamaseke, someone even will complain of a mattress.
Kihembo has now progressed in education. Has finished his diploma, is now at degree level, and he's also telling us that he's going back for masters. And even right now, he has his organization. He's now working in schools and in 4 districts, coordinating computer knowledge, computer skills to those learners in those 4 districts.